Hello guys, Nigel with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you've had a good Christmas and sort of your ways are going down a bit now after eating all that food, and soon it'll be New Year. It's the 30th of December today, 2022, so we're nearly into 2023. In a lot of streams I've been in lately, and indeed my own live streams, people have asked what do I think is the best kit of 2022? What is my favourite kit of 2022? So I thought I'd dedicate a whole video to it and see, what kind of response I get. And as I say, it's totally and utterly based on my opinion. This is not based on things I've read or things I've seen. So for it to be based on my opinion, it has to be based on products that I actually have in my hands, not just something I've read about. So it would be unfair for me to say that, for example, Revell are my least favourite supplier because the Hurricane's junk, whatever. I haven't got it. I need to make my own mind up. I don't think the Hurricane is junk, but I'm just using that as an example. So I've sort of made like four, you could call it 5 categories, and we're going to break it down and go through what each one I think is, and see what you think. Please comment below what you think. But remember, it has to be 2022. Okay, so it has to be something that was first available in 2022, and it has to be something that I've got. Okay, so if for instance I mention the Avro Vulcan from Airfix, yeah, beautiful kit, lovely build, had a few issues with it, but it went together beautiful in the end, but it's 2021, so it doesn't count. So there you go. So number one, I'm going to talk about my favorite manufacturer. Okay, and basically I've given 4 categories to each category, if you like. So my favorite manufacturer, number 4, is Takom. Only one reason, purely because they brought out a 1/16 scale Jeep, which I've been asking for years, probably 10-15 years. I've been asking for a 1/16 scale Jeep, and we finally got one. So thank you very much for that, Takom. I think a lot of you know Takom is not my favorite manufacturer. They are very good. They have some very strange positions there, sprue connector points and stuff, as we know, and ejector pin marks are sometimes a pain in the ass, but basically Takom are very good kit manufacturer, and yeah, they're my number 4 purely because they came out with the Jeep. Number 3 is Airfix. Airfix have come on leaps and bounds. If you consider your manufacturer to be marked by most improved, I think Airfix is going to be up there in everybody's opinion, no matter what you think of them. They've certainly, they appear to have listened to the modelers, listened to what they want, listened to the issues we're having, and gone down that road. They have a very, very diverse and interesting range, particularly when it comes to aircraft. Don't quite understand their pricing policy. How 1/24 scale Spitfire can be £10 more than a 1/48 scale Buccaneer, I should never understand. But basically, they're up there, and as you know, I'm building a Spitfire at the moment and really, really enjoying it. Number 2 is Trumpeter, and you'll see I've got Trumpeter feature a lot in my bits and pieces. Trumpeter purely because of what they knock out. It's absolutely incredible. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do the tooling. I mean, you think how many kits a year they put out. Yes, some of them have their issues. Yes, we don't get good paint call-outs. Yes, there's some inaccuracies and stuff. But, the stuff they're putting out is generally very, very nice. Most of it is quite reasonably priced. I think the importers are making them less attractive, if I'm honest. But, yeah, very, 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 very happy with what they do. My number 1 is Border Model. Border Model, I think, are going to, well, they have the potential to be the best plastic model kit manufacturer on the planet. I'm not saying that because they've given me a couple of kits. As you know, I have talked about issues with the Lancaster, but their plastic is just absolutely amazing. The fit, and I'm talking about Border Model now, not the Lancaster. The Lancaster is a Wingnut Wings kit. Forget that, okay? I'm not including that in this as the manufacturer. I'm really happy they bought the tooling and released it because it's given us all the opportunity to get it, which we otherwise wouldn't have had. I'm talking about Stuka and the tanks and stuff they do. The fit of their parts is absolutely incredible. Their clear parts are if not the best, some of the best on the planet. I love their decals. Their decals are so thin and so tough. They go down beautifully. My only thing I found is don't put micro sole down first, because, sorry, micro set down first, because they to the surface. That's what I've found. But I know that on the Stuke I had one curl up on me, and I played with it for about half an hour. The decal, not, yeah, and it just went flat. It didn't fall apart. It didn't tear anything. It was just like playing with bloody leather. It was unbelievable. But really, really good. The downside to them is their instructions. They are abysmal. Their instructions are, they're not the worst, but they're getting there. They have no paint call outs. They have misnumbered parts. They have missing parts. They have, and Trumpeter are guilty of this as well. They will give you options in the kit and say you've got a wide wing tip and a shortened wing tip. It doesn't tell you what it's for. It doesn't tell you what range it's for, what version, whatever. And they have the parts mixed up as well, so you've got the wrong sort of combination of guns with wing tips, or and stuff like that. And yeah, the instructions are abysmal. Whenever I've found error, I've written to them and told them, but they've never come back to me. So I hope I'm still on their reviewer list. I hope I get their FW190 and their Japanese, is it Jake they're doing? Can't remember what else, but they're going to be gorgeous kits. I mean, they're 1/35th scale, which is a little bit strange, but they're just amazing, and they are the best plastic to work with on the planet. And I would say if they get their instructions sorted out, look out Tamiya, because they're coming for you. They're that good. So that's my manufacturer roundup. So the second one I'm going to look at is aftermarket before we get into the kits and stuff. And I'm talking about aftermarket that I've got this year. All right. Not generally the manufacturer of the aftermarket, but the aftermarket that I've got this year. And number 4 is Iconic Air. Now, I know what you're all thinking. Iconic Air haven't released anything. Yes, they have. Iconic Air are always releasing stuff. And this year I got this little box because I had the original Bombay doors for the Tallboy, which were produced a couple of years back for the HK Models kit. And there is an issue with them. And they have realised there's an issue with them, so they remade the doors. And I don't think I've ever reviewed these, but what they've decided to do is, because of the shrinkage issues and the warpage issues and everything, they've decided to make them in 2 parts. So you've now got the doors, you can see the doors are in like 2 sections, so you join them together. And just as a matter of interest, if you do want to convert a border model Lancaster into a Tallboy, you'll have to do a bit of change on the profile at the bottom of the Bombay on the fuselage. But as far as the length of the doors go and everything, it's all exactly the same. So yeah, Iconic Air, if you haven't heard of them, they do some wonderful products, all in resin, pretty much. There's the bomb trolley, which I've reviewed, I think, earlier this year. And there's this lovely little tractor, which I'm going to build next year as well. It's a beautiful standard side with the Lancaster. And this is in 1/32nd scale, and that's the David Brown Tugmaster tractor. So yeah, really, really nice, wonderful aftermarket stuff, beautifully cast resin. And in my experience, I contacted them because I had an issue with a part that was broken. It had been broken and not in the bag, so it was broken before it was bagged, so therefore missing. Contacted them straight away in the post. I got a complete new fret, so that was really good. Thank you very much. So yeah, Iconic Air, number 4. Number 3 is Pontos with this set here. As we all know, this was released this year, and this is for the Trumpeter, or the Glow 2B gallery models. Can't think of the other one. It's on here, isn't it? For Glow 2B, where does it say on here? I could have sworn it said, yeah, it does. Monochrome, that's the company I'm looking for. The Monochrome kit, that's the 1/200th Yamato. It's a lovely, lovely little set. It's a little bit pricey. I think it's a bit pricey because of the terrible exchange rates all over the world. It's only available from William over at King's Detailing. You can't buy it from Pontos. So there's another person adding their little bit on, I'm guessing. But it's nothing like as complete as like you get with Bismarck or HMS Hood. But I think this could be the way Pontos are going. This set actually leaves you to utilise a lot of the photo etch that's in the Yamato kit. So basically that's why. I mean, generally these sets replace absolutely everything, because I think Trumpeter's photo etch has come a long way from the days of Bismarck and everything. So it's not quite as complete as those. My big downfall with this, my big downside to this, it has no degaussing cable in it, and the degaussing cable that's mounted on the hull of the kit is horrible. So there we go. So that's my number 3. Number 2, Red Fox. Red Fox, as you know, over the years has sent me loads, and they do these 3D printed or laser printed or whatever instrument panels for your model aircraft, and they are absolutely gorgeous. Some people have asked me how they compare to Quinta. I don't know, I've never bought Quinta, but some people tell me these are far better, and other people tell me Quinta's far better. So I suppose how you measure better, I don't know. But they do a massive range in all different scales, and they are absolutely wonderful, and I love them to bits. And I must get myself another Tamiya 1/32 scale Spitfire. But I had to feature these guys. They send me these for review, and they are absolutely awesome, and I really, really love them. I'd love to see how they're made, actually. I'd love to see a video. If you are watching Red Fox, I'd love to see a video on how you actually print these, how you get the different colours. It'd be really interesting to see. And my number 1 aftermarket supplier, and this is, I think, very new for 2022. Certainly this set is, and you saw me review it a couple of weeks ago, and I've made a video about them again yesterday, and it's One Man Army. One Man Army, there's the logo, look them up. They are amazing. They do masks for your models, and it's not just masks. If you are the sort of person that prefers kabuki tape to vinyl, then these are the ones for you. If you like your vinyl, I would seriously suggest you go and look at DN Models. Their masks are also wonderful, but they have their downsides. A lot of people prefer paper because it's more forgiving. In certain respects, I prefer vinyl because you don't get the fluffy edge if you rub them or anything. You know, you don't get the bits coming off the edge. Pays your money, takes your choice. These, I think, are absolutely amazing. The stencil decals, I did a video yesterday about how to use them. Amazing. And when I reviewed this one, this is the Lancaster set for the Border Models Lanc. I noticed the day after, Hannants had it in number 5 in their top 10 sales. This set was number 5. The next day it was number 4. They'd actually included my video in their product description, and then they were sold out. So, and apparently everywhere is sold out now. So you obviously like them. They are absolutely amazing. And the you know, we all talk about getting that painted on finish, and we know that lots of people out there do masks for your insignia and everything. But these, with the stencils, there's something else. Absolutely awesome. They are amazing. So worth checking out. So they're my number 1 in aftermarket. So remember, number 1 manufacturer's Border Model, number 1 aftermarket is One Man Army. Awesome. So number 3, getting onto the interesting stuff, kits. My favourite kits. So I've split these into 2 categories, and that is unbuilt, so unstarted, unbuilt. I've just looked at them, done a review, whatever. One of them here you don't even know I've got, because I haven't reviewed it. And I've also then done another category, which is built or started, you know, in progress or whatever. And so first of all, let's look at the unbuilt. And my number 4 kit for 2022 is this. This is the Su-27 UB in Ukrainian Air Force colours. It's the digital camouflage is absolutely gorgeous. If I open the box, if I've got on the top, no I haven't, it's at the bottom, so perhaps I can open the box upside down and show you the livery. You'll see what I mean. It's absolutely gorgeous. Here we go. There you are. So that's the Su-27 in Ukrainian livery, and obviously it's been released this year for obvious reasons, but there you go. That's Great War Hobby. Ed got me this. There's a special little card in there, which is like in 3D, which is really nice. But yeah, Ed got me this from Premium Hobbies. Thank you very much, Ed, and I was really looking forward to getting it. And then I got it and I put it to one side because it arrived in my, what we call my quiet period. And maybe I'll do a review of it soon. If you want to see a review of it, let me know. But basically, it's a Great Wall Hobby kit. We've all seen Great Wall Hobbies Su-27, and it's just got a load of decals in there. And I don't think Great Wall Hobbies decals are that good, but it's just worth having because it's just gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful kit. So that's my number 4 unbuilt, unstarted kits that were released in 2022 and I've purchased in 2022. Number 3 is this one. Now you all know about this one. I bought this. This is the Topol ICBM from Trumpeter. I did a review of this. It sounds like bits are falling around in the box. As I say, unbuilt, unstarted, gorgeous, gorgeous kit, 1/35th scale, really, really nice, massive, massive model. Probably not a very appropriate subject, but you know, when is it going to be appropriate? So that's that one, which is, I absolutely love that kit. That was released in 2022, and I will be doing a build of that, I think, because I can't wait to get stuck into it. I'm getting a bit sort of fed up with aeroplanes, to be honest. Number 2 is a kit you all know and love, and it's too big for me to pick up, but here it is. This is the Gallery Models Monochrome Glow 2B Yamato in 1/200 scale. It's made by Trumpeter. There's something about Chinese, Japanese, whatever, so Trumpeter have made it and then sent it out to distributors, and I believe the Europeans is Glow 2B. I think the Americans is Gallery Models, and the rest of the world is Monochrome. I think that's how it goes. But they're all the same kit with some slight differences in the instructions. I think there's also some slight differences in the decal sheets, so worth looking into. But that is my number 2. And my number 1, and I will definitely be building this next year, is this. The Takom 1/16 scale Jeep. It's actually a Willys. It's not a Ford GPW. It's a Willys Jeep. And it's beautiful. The one thing I think lets it down is the wheels and tyres, but maybe with a coat of paint they'll look lovely. I have reviewed this kit. I know it's got a lot of interest. I've actually got 2 of them and I love it. So happy to have a 16 scale Jeep in my hands, and you can see there in my hand there's the chassis, so you can see the size of it there, and it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Can't wait to see that one, or can't wait to get it on the bench. I know a few of you are building it. So that's my number 1 unbuilt kit 2022. So now looking at the built stuff, which is the stuff you've seen me doing, stuff you've seen me working on, so either finished or in progress. Number 4 is this one, and a lot of you are going to like this because you haven't seen this before. In fact, what I'm going to do is put it on this box. In fact, I'll put it on this box for fear of not dropping it. But there you go. There is my K2 ambulance, which you're currently watching being built, and there it is. So that is my number 4. It's a lovely, lovely model. I think anybody at any level could build that kit. I'm doing a review, a build series, as you know. It started off, the full intention was to be a complete beginner's build, but it was just so nice I had to start letting go on it. And so what I've tried to do is make it sort of, as I've said in the videos, you know, newer modelers that want to take this that one step further, showing you how to simply use washes and everything. Obviously there's loads more you could do, and then at the end we do mud and everything. So hopefully you're enjoying that. But there's the finished model, and I love it to bits. So that's my number 4. Number 3, it's going to piss some people off, I'm afraid, is this one. This is my Airfix Spitfire. Where's the box? I put the box down here. This is the kit here. It's the brand new Airfix 1/24 scale Spitfire Mark 9C. It's gorgeous. It's a lovely kit. It's got a couple of issues in it. You know, like there's a missing control column. I've had a few little fit issues. The ailerons are a bit too thick. There's also an issue in that book that Wendy sent me. One of the cowl mounting panels down the side is too thick as well, so that needs thinning out, but we'll cover that in the video. But other than that, you know, it goes together beautifully. I think the build sequence needs a bit of adjustment, although a lot of you are telling me that I'm wrong and Airfix are right. That's absolutely fine. You're all entitled to your own opinion, but here's the result of mine, and it's going together absolutely beautifully. My biggest concern through the whole build is this step in the wing boot here, which I've shown you in many ways on how to deal with it, and I'm really happy with how it's come out. I think it looks gorgeous, and the shape of it and everything is lovely. So really, really pleased. Jess is down here watching me. She's watching me this Spitfire. So that's my number 3 of built kits or builds in progress or whatever. I've got a bench covered in models here. Number 2, which I know is going to surprise a lot of you, is the Lancaster. This is the Border Models X-Wingnut Wings 1/32 scale Lancaster. It's a beautiful, beautiful kit. But I think, unfortunately, Border Model got hold of a set of unfinished molds, I think. There's a reason why Wingnut Wings never released this. Years and years after they, you know, they first showed their test shots in 2018 at Telford. And then by 2020, when unfortunately they closed their doors, I think it was 2021, when they unfortunately closed their doors, it was still not released. So there's a reason for that. They weren't happy. It would have had to have been perfect for them to release it. And it's not perfect. It's nothing like as good as their other aircraft kits. But Wingnut Wings or Border Model for that matter. But it's a very, very beautiful model. It is gorgeous. This would have been my number 1 had it not been for this. So this is my number 2. But this, you probably know what I'm going to say, is my number 1. This model here, this is the Border Model 1/35 scale Stuka. I've done a full video build of it. You've probably all seen it. It is absolutely stunning. I have never built a kit that goes together like this. The fit is just impeccable. It is absolutely incredible. You know, I remember this lower radiator. It's made up of like 5 different pieces, and then you've got pipes and stuff for mountings, and then the engine cowling slides on and butts up to it on 3 faces absolutely perfectly. It's just absolutely amazing. I did slightly change the build sequence. I won't do it now, but I've got the exhaust held in with magnets, and then you slide the cowl off. Otherwise you can't have the engine on display. But it is just, I mean, when you look at the actuators for the flaps and the ailerons, it's just absolutely incredibly stunningly beautiful. It is, you know, as I say, the plastic is awesome. The clear parts are amazing. I mean, I don't know if I can show you there, but you look at those clear parts, you know, you can see my glasses through them and I'm that far away. It's just absolutely incredible. And remember, you're looking through 2 bits of clear part there, and then me like a foot away from it, and you can still make out my nose and my glasses and my eyes and whatever. It's just unbelievable. Amazing. And when you consider that was built from a pre-production sample, the plastic wasn't even the same color, if you remember. I think that was the first one to ever be built. And yeah, unbelievable kit. So that is my number 1 and my favorite kit of the year, not my favorite model. So going over the page, there's a lot of people that haven't, or a lot of, yeah, people, whatever, that haven't featured in my top 4, okay, that I've just mentioned, but I absolutely love them. And they are Anice. Remember, he recently sent me the tweezers. They're absolutely incredible. I've used them just now on those, well, yesterday, on those masks review that I did. They're incredible. They're lovely. They don't do what a lot of tweezers do when you squeeze them. They go like that. They don't do that. They stay together. They're really, really nice. So Anice, go take them up. Anice.io. Mr. Hobby, we all know Mr. Hobby. Mr. Surfacer, leveling thinners, you know, Mr. Color GX, all my Mr. Surfacers you can see there. Absolutely love them. You know, wow, what a wonderful company. Thank you very much, Mr. Hobby, for being there. They're amazing. Tamiya LP paints, you can see I've got nearly the whole range of Tamiya LP paints. Absolutely love them. Absolutely brilliant. They are great. Thank you, Tamiya. But, you know, you couldn't feature in my top 4 because this is too small an item, I guess. Infini, you know, the Infini sanding sticks that I use all the time. Absolutely wonderful. Love all that. That's the full set there in the Premium Hobbies holding case. And MIG Ammo. MIG Ammo, I think, I've been someone that I've never really paid much attention to. I tried some of their paints a while ago, couldn't get on with them. And then discovered this glue. I think it's this, yeah, this one here. The MIG Ammo Slow Dry Black Glue, which is amazing. You also have the VMS as well, which I should have included. The VMS Slow Dry Black Glue as well is amazing. Absolutely incredible. And I've recently tried on the Lancaster build. I don't know if you've seen that one yet. I think you have, I'm not sure. But MIG Ammo, if you remember, Jamie Hago sent me some stuff from Ammo, or had MIG Ammo send me some stuff, and in there is a dry brushing paint. It's paint, surely. You know, these manufacturers do this. They make this dry brushing paint. It's like, well, surely it's just paint. But it does work. It's an acrylic. And as we all know, if you try and dry brush with acrylic, it generally dries out on the brush in seconds. This stuff, you can dry it out like enamel, like there's hardly anything left on the brush, and it still works. It stays moist, I guess. But absolutely loving it. So I'm going to have to try more and more of the MIG Ammo products, because I think I might be impressed. And luckily, I've got a lot of them here to try. So you'll all see that as well. So they are the companies that unfortunately got left out of the top 4, but they definitely deserve a shout out. And other than Anise, all of those products are available from Premium Hobbies. So get over there. And I'm not sure if the code still works. NMB10 is the code to use to get 10% off. So overall for 2022, best overall model, overall as a model, is the Lancaster, without doubt. It's massive, it's got beautiful surface detail, it's got fantastic interior detail. I wish it had a bit more detail up inside the fuselage, because when you look in that back door you can see the emptiness, whereas you should be seeing ammo bins and stuff. So I wish they'd put a bit more inside it, but never mind, I'm sure somebody will come up with that. But as an actual model, I think this is definitely the tops for 2022. This kit could even turn out to be the tops of the decade, who knows? But it's just absolutely awesome. The undercarriage detail, the engine detail, the bomb bay detail, everything about it is just absolutely incredible. If this had been released by Wingnut Wings, this would probably be the best kit of the decade, without doubt, because the instructions would have been incredible. And unfortunately, it was never introduced by Wingnut Wings, so it's still my favourite model of all time, ever, honestly. But as a kit, as a plastic kit, number 1 has to be this Stuka. This I've been modelling. I'm now 59 years old. I've been making plastic models for 53 years. This is by far the best plastic kit I have ever built. It's just the best kit, the best fit. You know, I mean, it's just, you've got raised rivet detail underneath here, which is correct. And as you can see, if you go back and look at my build, there is no seam line because the fit is that good. I didn't have to go sanding and lose all the rivet detail. It's just, I mean, I'm looking at it now in the light and I can see the 2 rows of rivets down the middle, and I never replaced them. You can see them there, I expect. It's just unbelievably fantastic. As I say, if Border Model would get their instructions sorted, they would be number 1. Absolutely number 1. That is better than any Tamiya kit. That kit there, as a kit that goes together, that is better than anything Tamiya have ever produced, in my opinion. Honestly, I've got the Mosquito, I've got the Spitfire, I've got the P51, I've got the F4U, I've got the Zero, but that is, I mean, I've built the Spitfire. That goes together nicer than the Spitfire, in my opinion. It is just, and the plastic's nicer as well. So, you know, and the price is also incredible when you think you could get that kit for like 40 odd quid on eBay. Unfortunately, by the time it's come through the importers and the shops, it goes up to £70, which is a lot for a 32nd scale aircraft when you consider the new Revell Hurricane is like £40, but when you consider the Spitfire is £130, is it? That's a bargain. So, you know, it's chalk and cheese, really. The one thing I will say just before I finish, it's very unfortunate that Qatari are running a little late. The Qatari Spitfire Mark 1 was due to be released around about November, December time in 2022. Had that been the case, I would have by now had a review sample, had a review put out, and it'd be on my channel, and I would have started it. And I think that would have been my number 1 kit. I think Qatari would be my number 1 manufacturer. What else have we got here? They obviously wouldn't be the number 1 aftermarket, but they would have been you know, number one in builds in progress or unbuilt kits, whichever one it fitted into. And I think they would have been my number one manufacturer and probably the best kit of the year. But unfortunately they're running late. Why am I praising them so much? Basically because Qatari are wingnut wings. Look at their instructions. I've done a review on them. The instructions are absolutely amazing. They give you, not only do they give you colour call outs, they give you options for different colours. They kind of talk about, you know, like the big debate about is the nose area of a Lancaster black or green. You know, it doesn't just say green. It says most people believe this area was painted black, but in actual fact, early Lancasters were green, and sometime, I think it was January 44, they decided to change to black. That's what the instructions are like. It's that much detail. You don't need to go research the subject because everything you need is in the instructions. I think the plastic is going to be absolutely amazing because they're model makers. They know what we want. The kit will be amazing because they're model makers. They know what we want. There won't be stupid ejector pin marks. There won't be stupid build assembly sequences. There won't be millions of tiny parts that are nigh on impossible to hold. It'll be moulded like the Lancaster with a lot of detail moulded into one panel, and it's up to you to pick it out and paint it. It doesn't have stuff like an engine, because to have an engine in a 32nd scale kit with the correct thick, you know, with plastic walls that are a decent thickness, your engine is going to be undersized. I would imagine that even on the 1/32nd scale Tamiya Spitfire, the engine is probably undersized, as will be the instrument panel, because you have to fit it between two thick walls of plastic, which in real case it would have been fitted between two sheets of aluminium. So, and I think it's going to go together, unbelievable, it's 117 parts or something. There's 120 parts in the Airfix 1/24th scale Spitfire engine. But the way that it's designed, I think it's going to have raised rivets all over it. It's just, and it looks like it's designed very much like the Lancaster, with separate parts for the belly and the back, rather than having a great seam down the middle. So yeah, if Qatari had, I wouldn't say got their finger out, they've been let down by their suppliers, I think, but if Qatari had, you know, met their target of November, December, I think they would have been my number one without doubt. So let's wait and see what happens. So if Qatari can give us border model quality with wingnut wings instructions, they're going to be the go-to, aren't they? Thank you for watching, guys. As I say, leave your comments down below. All of my comments get held for review, so if your comments are aggressive, like you're wrong, Airfix are mint, then I just won't bother showing it because there's no point. Yeah, nice bit of discussion down below. Keep it friendly, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.